I'm not really sure if I like Nate knowing when we push the button.
That's why I
You
tried to
can't
get him
stop
to...
that. The way that the screen is angled.
I tried to get him to sit over here. I mean,
That's true.
Now there's no volume.
No, there's volume. It's just not peaking all over the place when everybody's talking at a ridiculous decibel that doesn't need to be spoken to, as if they're trying to speak to a
how far
giant.
back do I have to sit to be out of the...
You need to speak like you need to speak like you're talking to a giant.
Welcome to Nailed It.
I'm gonna sit outside of the camera the whole time.
That's so frustrating. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
I am that... Okay, I'm back.
All right. So
Hey, look, Michael's here.
I've been here. Xavier didn't let me leave. I had to stay here all week.
I wouldn't want you to stay here all week. I can barely deal with myself.
Well,
That's true.
I relate to that.
Yeah. So I guess we can start off with what we were going to start talking about last week. English, I can speak it, I promise.
Borderlands.
Borderlands 3, since...
Let's talk about Borderlands 3.
You're,
The third one.
You have been warned by both of us.
Borderlands, the next generation. Borderlands.
Like, Nate explicitly told you he was feeling violent today, and I second that motion.
Yeah, but you always second that motion.
Yeah, but you should be quiet.
I second that emotion.
No, I'm trying to figure out why he's so, like, excited about it.
I don't know.
About Borderlands?
Do you play Borderlands?
Yeah. No, because he doesn't play video games.
I play video games.
GTA doesn't count.
I haven't
for
played
5
GTA
minutes.
forever.
Or any FPS.
Have you played any video games recently? Any?
No. It's
See?
been forever.
He's too busy with his copious amount of projects.
Welcome to Nailed It.
I have my
Where
board game that
only
I'm very
3
close to
people
being
actually
finished.
play video games.
Well, I mean, 3 out of the 4 at the table.
First of all, I
And the
watch-
4th person does the most talking.
I watch
true.
movies. Yeah. What are you talking about? Nate does the most talking?
I do do the most talking.
I forget Nate's here half the time.
Anyways, so...
Which one's Nate again?
He's the quiet one you can't hear.
So, have you beaten Borderlands 3 yet?
I did.
Yeah?
As of the last episode, I hadn't, but
Right.
then I went home and played like all last Saturday, and I beat it.
Okay, I'm assuming, Nate, you haven't beat it yet.
Nate's
Assumption correct.
Yeah, that's about
Nate, you are
I'm-
welcome to beat this one because after you beat it, you're still not done. So technically, you haven't completed the game if you beat the campaign.
Well, so that's the thing is me and
So you're still safe. You keep your record of
my
never
friend-
finishing anything.
me and my friend and his friend.
It's very important to his wife that he does that.
Me and my friend.
Oh, that's too far.
Yeah, that is a little
Okay.
far. I'm sorry. Sorry, Nate's wife, that he
Wow.
doesn't complete anything. He's gonna come here. I'm gonna leave now.
You're a demon in human skin, dude.
What?
You're a demon in human skin.
Nah, thanks. All right, Nate.
So, well, I'm at level I think 20, and
That's
what
so
basically
low.
what we're doing. Yeah, but we're doing like everything. So when we go, we're doing all the side missions, and we're trying to complete every task.
I feel like that
should
make...
help
So
you
wait, which
level up
which
quicker.
planet are you on?
So we just did the. We're probably 45 minutes past the part where you're.
The first level.
No, you're in the crypts, like the
On the
wannabe
monk,
dwell hunter.
on the monk planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just met Maya,
So
and you're level 20.
That's the second planet, isn't it?
Technically, it's the third, but you only complete like the first 25% of that second planet. Because you go and start the war between Malawan and
Maliwan in Atlas.
Atlas, right? So you start to learn a little bit about that, but you really only do that one
Right.
fight, and then they tell you have to go get the key from the.
Like
Well,
Althena or something
yeah.
like that.
And then
Actually-
that's when you meet Maya, and then you go back because the war is kicking up, and the giant Death Star planet starts shooting lasers
Right.
at
Okay.
the other guy.
We're at the I think where I left off was like almost like the moon planet where you have a little less gravity, so your jumps are.
You're only on there for. I mean that's a mission. That's not really a
Okay.
planet.
Okay.
Okay.
So how are you about story spoilers for that one? for that game? Because you haven't really played or completed any of the other Borderlands, right?
I have not played any of the Borderlands. No,
I'm
This
gonna
is the first one.
fill in the blank on this one. He's not gonna finish, so
Yeah.
he needs to know how the
Right,
story
but
ends.
I don't want if he's going to.
Nate, are you planning on finishing the whole thing?
I mean, me and a friend are trying to.
You're pacing through, but you don't mind spoilers at this point because it's been too long. Or
No, go
do you
ahead,
mind?
go ahead.
Do you mind spoilers?
I'll
certain-
probably.
Keep away from certain key point spoilers.
Well,
Are
I
you-
can review the game without spoiling. it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's been out for so long by this point that it shouldn't even matter.
I know. It really shouldn't.
How
True.
long? How long
Go
has
ahead.
it been out?
You can.
It doesn't
You
feel
can.
like it's been out that long.
Probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not that long.
Okay.
but it's different than a movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. You could have beat the game probably in.
Because
How many hours do you think it is?
I know it's different than a movie.
If you're going based content wise or story based, I wouldn't even say 8 hours.
Yeah,
So if you're just doing the main mission,
If you're just doing the main story, it's
yeah.
just not even.
I
8
don't.
hours.
I don't feel like.
what's the thing?
I'm
is
trying to
we're, like,
think.
We're looking
I
at the map and we're making sure that everything gets uncovered.
I feel like this story is important to Borderlands, but that's not really the reason why people play it as much.
That's true, but there
The
are
story is intriguing and very fun to be a part of, but it's not at all the main point of the game.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
mean.
not why people play. That's not why the game gets so much acclamation.
It's not a game that, if you talk about a certain point, it's going to spoil it for people. It's a game where, it
It
can,
depends
but,
on. I mean, it depends on what kind of player you are. If you're
And
really
how
invested in the
invested you
story,
are.
but
Yeah.
but I feel like if you're invested in the story, you have already beat it.
I found myself unable to get invested in this story.
It's really difficult, honestly, because the way that everything feels like it's presented to you is like it's a forethought. Honestly, it's like, okay, so in Borderlands 1, there was basically not really that big of a story. It was kind of haphazardly put together with funny bits thrown in there because, because it was Gearbox. It's just what they do. Borderlands 2 felt more story focused,
Yeah.
simply because of the way that they handled their villain, being Handsome Jack, and how he, as a character, is terrible, and everything about that, which they try and replicate in this,
But not well.
but not well, because
I think trying to follow up Handsome Jack was just
it was
a bad
it's too
choice.
hard. It's
Yeah.
too hard.
Handsome Jack was awesome
It-
and
it-
amazing
it's-
as a villain.
It's so hard that they bring his story back in a way in this one. If you go and do a lot of the extra side content, because they explain about his story with Angel and all that stuff, which is Angel was his daughter, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that little side mission where you are in the room. Did you play that one? It's about Jack and Angel and.
My roommate was playing it right next to me, so I heard everything.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of that mission was just to bring Jack into it and give a little
Exactly.
hint into
Exactly.
the
Where
story.
versus the Calypsos, with the Calypsos, it's just okay. We get it. You guys have a sad story, but
I think it's more of self pity.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
an actual sad story.
it was. And with one thinking that they're better than the other, and the other is quote unquote a leech.
Right.
You know, it was just like
They're kind of cool characters. They're just their stories off, and the way that they try and replicate the humor that Handsome Jack had doesn't play out very well.
it wa- If you're gonna say something, say it louder so the mic can pick you up.
I was just asking if Nate knows what you guys are talking, so he can interject.
Nope.
That's just what it was. It's like the Calypsos are cool characters for their. I like their designs better than the way the characters act. You know, and the ideal that because if you know anything about the Borderlands lore, there's only a certain amount of sirens in the universe, and all sirens are female.
Right.
So when you see the brother, and he's over here siphoning his sister's powers, like, huh?
Right.
But it's only because it's the twin mentality or the twin effect.
Well, it was the way I got past that is that they like Siamese twins, like
Yeah.
literally attached to her.
Yeah, but instead
So
of
he
attached...
kind of inherited that, like he was sucking the power out of her. Then, like, I don't know. It was hard to take in because, like you said, sirens are all female.
Right.
Up until just kidding, they're not, and just this one guy is, but he's not really, because all he does is steal the power, or he has to steal the power in order to use the power. He doesn't like create his own.
Well, that was the same for Tyreen.
But she could take it from anybody. He could only take it from her.
True.
So
did he take what's her name's powers from?
Only, yeah, but he was more confused about that than anything.
Right. Okay.
Like,
I get it. It's very vague. What is going on?
Well, I'm saying so the guy, the bad guy, Tyreen. No,
I know, but I don't know anything about the Borderlands universe.
Okay.
So you're just all of a sudden bring up a guy that's stealing people's powers.
Okay.
But you said
I don't understand the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So let's do a quick explanation. So in the Borderlands universe, there's these mystical set of women with powers. They're called the Sirens. I think there's only 6 to 7 at a time that can exist in the universe. Okay. By this point in the game, when you hit Borderlands 3 at the beginning of it, you know of pretty much all of them that existed, I think, at the time. You had Lilith, who was the main character from Borderlands 1. You had Maya, who's the main character from Borderlands 2. Angel, who was Handsome Jack's daughter. Commander Steele from the first one, who was, because she had things, I think she was confirmed as a siren. Who else? I'd have to look it up. But essentially, all these women are gifted with specific types of powers that allow them to, use these powers, and people want their abilities so that they can control them. In Borderlands 3, there's a character by the name of Tyreen, or the Calypso twins in general. It's a brother and sister duo. Mm-hmm. One is a siren who's trying to essentially become a god by finding these vaults, which are just mystical gates that hold ancient artifacts and monsters inside of them, and she wants to absorb its power to become like an actual god queen.
So she absorbs the power from the Vault's guardian, which is the giant monster that guards it. And so she doesn't really care about the secrets the Vaults hold.
Right.
She just wants to suck the power out of the giant monsters that guard them, the Guardians.
Right. So what does this universe entail? Like, so if I was to say
a whole bunch of guns, wildlands, and a couple people with
what I'm
mystical
saying
powers.
is, so like if I was to talk about Halo, I would say that it is a space marines versus aliens type of, it's after the war type thing.
So
like, what's the premise of this world?
The premise is that there's generally these group of people called Vault Hunters, and their entire job is to go look for these vaults because they have the mentality of, I want to get loot, I want to be rich. They're treasure hunters, right? But in the midst of going to look for this treasure hunt, there's this whole bunch of other BS that's going on, where at first you don't know what's in the vault, so everybody that's going to look for the vault, who knows about his treasure, thinking it's going to give them power. Some is like, okay, I want power. And that's actually all the motivations for the bad guys through all the games, is the vault will give me power to do what I need to take over the world, or do this, or do that. Whereas it's your job as the good guys, the treasure hunters, to stop that from happening because it's like ruining your way of life.
I never understood the whole
Also, Borderlands
take over the
entails-
world thing. It seems like a lot of work.
Also, Borderlands entails that it's like, it's an outer world, it's chaos, it's not a civilized area. Like, the main force of bad guys are a bunch of crazy heretics who have been dumped off. And
so is this like a planet, or is this like
up until this game, it was just a planet. It was Pandora.
Okay, and you have a universe of some are civilized and some are not, or
so
is it
now
just,
you've been traveling around to...
like the space version of Mad Max.
No,
Pandora is the space version of Mad Max.
Yeah, but now you're in Borderlands 3. You're actually traveling to different planets, and there are some civilized planets, but there's more chaos unfolding this time because you're hunting more than just the one vault on Pandora. You're hunting 4?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Because at the end of Borderlands 2, after you defeat Handsome Jack and the Warrior, your characters realize that there's more than one vault.
Because you find a map.
Yeah, you find a map.
Vaults.
Because at first, in the first Borderland, when you find the vault, it's not the original vault, but it houses partially of this giant space eldritch tentacle monster.
Right.
And all you get to fight is these two little tentacles that come
called
out.
the Destroyer, and then you push that back, so you never really get anything. Then you play Borderlands 2, and Handsome Jack finds a different vault and releases the Warrior, and you fight that. And at the end of that, it shows all the characters like maps to all these other planets with all these different vaults. And in Borderlands 3, you're trying to stop the antagonists from going to find these vaults, because if they find these powers, they can be unstoppable. And
it also explains why you only fight a part of the Pandora vault.
which that ending was disappointing in that fight, to be honest.
It wasn't my favorite boss fight.
Yeah.
It was very repetitive, but
Yeah.
it was kind of a letdown.
It was definitely a mechanics base.
When we finished, I kind of just told him I wish Pandora had opened up so I could see that final boss. I wish that could be the final boss.
So, let's see. 6 sirens at the time is Lilith, Maya, Angel, Commander Steel, and then 3 more sirens being that Amara, who's the newest one in the most recent Borderlands, and Tyrene, who is the female antagonist for 3. But then they counted Troy, who is her twin brother, because he has a parasitic leech onto her powers.
Just onto her, and she can take power from anybody.
Yeah.
Anyone. From any source.
Yeah.
Biological
all the sirens have a different ability. You know, Lilith has this ability called Phase Walk, where she can turn invisible and sprint. Maya has the Phase Lock, where she can lock a person up in a bubble for a certain amount of time. Angel had, I think it was Phase Trance, which essentially causes her to, or Phase Shift. Yeah, it's like techromancy, stuff like that. Essentially, ability to influence and manipulate technology, and have said technology obey the Phase Shifter's command and desires.
And most of these sirens come in and play a part in Borderlands 3.
But it didn't feel like that wasn't the case until like the end of Borderlands 2.
Right.
Because at first, like, we weren't worried about sirens, because the only siren that we actually knew about at the time was the player character Lilith. And because this is because this is an MMO shooter, not an MMO shooter, but like it's a looter. It's a loot shooter.
loot shoot.
Yeah, it's a loot shoot.
With a heavy emphasis on loot,
loot
and not so
shoot
much on
boogie.
RPG.
Yeah. So the characters at the time in the first game didn't matter. The only siren that you thought that you knew about was Commander Steel, but you weren't too sure because you never really saw her pop off any powers. And then Borderlands 2 rolled around, and then you realized that the girl who was talking to you in the first Borderlands and in this Borderlands is also a siren, and that her father's been using her power to try and like have all these robots obey him and all this crap. And then she dies, and then Lilith gets taken from the first game, but your characters can't like say anything or do anything or be attacked like that to have their powers be leached if you played the siren. So, and then in the third one, it's where like your character would talk, but it's cut in dialogue. And by this point, we already have every other siren but your main character if you play Amara and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like
And
by
it's
that
like
point,
during every fight you just disappear. Like every cutscene.
yeah. Oh my god, that bothered me to
Yeah.
no end. It's
like the fight with the main guy. I always forget his
Troy?
name. Troy. When you're fighting Troy, that cutscene afterwards where Tyrene is there and like beating the crap out of your friends or whatever, and you're literally on that platform because you just fought the boss there on that platform, and nothing's changed, but you're not actually there. I didn't get that.
Yeah, no, so I have a big affinity for the sirens simply because I've played them in every game.
Right.
So a lot of the stuff that was happening in the game, i.e. in the beginning, if you played it, Lilith gets her phase abilities taken. I'm like, oh cool, I have a vendetta against these characters now. And later on in the game, something happens to another one of the sirens, and I was really, really mad because I really, really like that character. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Depends on how much later in the game we're talking about.
I think it's after you find the vault on like Alethea or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and something happens because all the sirens out of your team, there's only, well, I guess technically 4 plus
Right.
you, and one happens to one, and then another person gains a power, and I'm just like, you took away my girl. The twins are catching these hands. That's all that's happening right now. So, anyways, it's a good game. I think them taking so long on it didn't really damage it, but the story was lacking compared to 2, because it's how do I word this properly? It's essentially the Dark Knight effect, the Nolan effect, where the second movie or the second game had such a pivotal, like a powerful villain in terms of character, right? And then you go to the next one, and it's like, oh, it's Bane. He's not doing as much as the Joker was doing, so I don't care.
Right. He kind of just...
He doesn't have that charisma.
Right. He caused chaos and sat back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas the Joker just continuously caused chaos the entire time.
Yeah.
He was always there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because it is like that. Like, Handsome Jack just kept antagonizing you the entire way in a way that made you look forward to that final boss fight so much.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, oh, I can't wait to get there and actually fight this guy.
No.
Because he just kept, like, talking to you the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, just kept coming in, saying all this stuff that's going on. And then you add in his daughter and all that.
Yeah.
But then you get these 2 villains who are just kind of, like, popping in and out. Like,
Yeah.
you never really get to, like, I don't know, the stuff that they talk about, you're like, yeah, I watched that cutscene happen, and now I'm watching their video of that cutscene happening. I don't really... It already happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Overall, I mean, it's a good game. It's not.
So if you take the story out of it, it's a great game.
Yeah.
I love playing. I still play Borderlands.
Yeah.
I've beaten the story, so I'm over the story.
Well, that was my question. Is this a game you play mostly because you enjoy just the world and the universe and the
It's
loot
the looting.
shooting?
It's the looting and playing with friends that have the same mentality and shit.
Yeah,
that you
and
do.
playing with friends on the game,
Right.
like 4-player co-op is awesome, and the
So
the variety of guns that you can get is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Like,
so in many ways, it's like a Call of Duty where
no, it's not like it at all.
you more about the actual like online playing game than the actual
Wrong
thing.
game.
Okay, which game then would you
Like Diablo.
Diablo.
Like
Yeah.
WoW. Like,
Yeah.
It's more about equipping your character and getting
getting gear with
stronger.
your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
not
then-
so much about just running around shooting people and like getting a high KD or whatever. Like that's what Call of Duty is about. Like,
Okay.
like getting a team together where you like plan strategy and take on another team of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about that because you're not fighting other players. You're fighting. It's
fighting
PvE,
Yeah.
and the environment gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So you have to get stronger and stronger, and by doing that, you're just looting not the same places, but you're looting your character up to the point where you can take on like after you beat the game, you unlock True Vault Hunter mode, which makes everyone else stronger,
Right.
and so it makes you get stronger.
Mhm.
Okay.
Not only
Because
that,
of
but it's like there's also a weird feeling when you can properly synergize each character's powers. You know, like with Amara, she's the first up close and personal siren. So of course I'm gonna be all up in the thick of it in terms of like attacking versus like Zane, who has a shield and a turret or a digital clone, and he can just get in and out. And then there's Mose being like
That's what I play.
the super tanker with her Iron Bear, and then
So Nate, does this all make you want to play the game, or
Well, like they're saying, I like playing it to the fact that all the guns, all the looting, and all that
right? But
with your friends.
does it make you want to beat the game real quickly so you can unlock something, so you can go through what you're doing now?
I want to get to a high enough level that I can, because there's 2 different sections. There's like it's like the multiplayer type thing. So you can go, I think it's go into the vault, and basically in turn you're just going to kill a boss, right?
yeah, each planet has that type of situation. But the thing is that if you're going in there trying to do all the side missions on a planet and just to go fight that boss, it's not exactly you wasting your time. You just have a completionist mentality. because the bosses aren't that difficult
No,
to
no,
take
this
down.
this isn't like the campaign. This is
And you don't get, sorry, you don't get the cool stuff till you level up.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start streaming again?
I can stream soon. I just, like I said, if I'm trying to record chat audio, people are just gonna have to get on Discord with me
Okay.
instead of PS4 chat.
Because I can figure out a way to play if we're doing something out of it.
Yeah. That's fine.
Like, I feel like if I'm just playing to play, then I'm kind of wasting time because I should be working on my games or something like that.
Have you found a whole bunch of items that are Easter eggs yet?
I wasn't really too concerned with looking for it. At the time of me playing it, it was legitimately just for the story. I haven't really picked it up since then, also because of the numerous amount of weird little bugs that was happening, and the time it was taking just to switch between menus was pissing me off at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'm going into this fight. I have my gun set, but I need to switch the power ability that my character can use with their super. Okay, menu's up, taking a second, switch screens. The animation loaded in. I'm getting shot. God, please no. Okay, and we're good. Let's see this. This should not take that long. So it was aggravating.
So, that's frustrating. Review of the game.
I'd say a decent 7.5 in terms of all of it together.
Yeah. The only thing that really hurts it in my mind is the story.
Yeah.
I couldn't get emotionally invested in the story. But the gameplay itself is really good. I don't know about if maybe it's just the system you were on, because like the Xbox One X didn't have loading.
It might have been.
Like you ported right in. If you were fast traveled, it was really quick.
Fast travel wasn't an issue.
Like bringing up the menu was quick and fluid. I like the characters that you play as. I like the fighting system that they have, like the all the different ways that you can beat somebody up is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not just about point and click and shoot them with your gun.
Right.
Like, yeah. Anyway, then the looting system is amazing. Like me and my two other friends who play the game constantly haven't found the same gun as somebody else. Like we've never had duplicate guns that were
right.
good. Like,
are you guys doing gun farming or item farming?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we're playing through it and we're going around and killing everything we can, but we're not like going and fighting the same thing over and over and over.
Okay. So I gave it a 7.5. What exactly are you giving it?
I'd probably give it an 8.
Okay.
Just because of its replay value being so high. That's kind of what I like about games now, is usually when you finish an RPG, you're just done.
Right.
But I actually want to play it again. Or play it more.
I gotta start a true Vault Hunter mode with my other guys.
Nate?
True Vault Hunter's fun. Have you completed the whatever? When you finish the game, there's this whole separate, completely unrelated arena that you can fly to. Have you tried that?
I've done it once or twice. Yeah.
That guy is my new favorite Borderlands character. The guy who's in charge of that.
Okay.
It's so funny because normally people curse and it doesn't like bleep it out. But this guy says the F word and it gets bleeped out, and it just makes it so much funny. Just because they actually bleep it.
Yeah.
And he's always screaming like.
Are you talking about Torg?
Yeah.
Mr. Torg was in Borderlands too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Where was he?
It was in one of the DLCs.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Mr. Torg is the coolest character.
He's so funny.
He's Hercule from Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen him in Borderlands, so
Nate, what's your review of the game?
I'll give it a.
Everybody's staring at you. Just so you know.
I won't stare. Just to
He's gonna give it an 8.5.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Oh, okay. So he always gives an 8.5.
Okay, so now that
If it wasn't for that one friend that played with us, that was a level 45 or whatever,
I hate that guy.
that had the gun that spit out guns and basically let us pick them up and sell them for $6,000 each. The game would probably be a lot harder because I was.
You don't have to use those guns.
No. But I wasn't able to get the money. Like, it would take longer to get the money and upgrade my ammo capacity and my backpack capacity. Like that was the
Money
first
is
thing
key.
that I did, right?
Yeah.
Was
The gun that
those
shoots
upgrades.
guns is hilarious.
It's so good. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, all it does is give you more. It's not like it's giving you powerful guns. I'm assuming the character's level 40.
Yeah,
So everything you're
Right.
selling for, it just gives you more
money.
ammo
Yeah,
for the most part.
it's not
Right, but
making the
what
game
I'm saying
easier
is-
for you.
when I first started, I think they patched it a little bit, but it was like you're always running out of ammo, and then when you open the ammo crates, it's always ammo that you don't have for guns, or the guns that you have, you're not getting. You know what I mean?
I felt that too.
So it was harder because you're always running out of ammo, and like I still have that issue. But I mean, now I can carry 4 different type of guns or 3 different type of guns.
I just gotta say,
And-
my favorite gun that I have is called
What?
the Jericho. I found the Jericho, and it's
Is that a Jacobs?
yeah, it's a Tony Stark reference. And the line is, I prefer the one you only have to fire once, and it's like one of those ones that turns into a mortar, shoots 4 shots, right?
What is it? A shotgun?
No, it's a rocket launcher, but
A Jacobs rocket launcher?
I think it's Jacobs. I don't know. I can check, and I'll correct it if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Jacobs. But it has the canisters that aim forward and launches the 4 mortars, right? And the explosions happen, and that shoots things into the air, which explode in the air, and then
okay.
it rains down.
Okay, I
like,
see the
like the
reference.
Jericho.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I
it's
see it.
hilarious. I love it. That's why I asked you about Easter eggs, because I was so happy I found that one.
Okay.
Just because I love Tony Stark, but.
Okay, so next topic, I got a couple of things here. Let's see. So, just real quick, Final Fantasy 14 just had a keynote yesterday talking about a bunch of job changes and stuff. Nothing too significant for people that don't play the game, but what they're doing is that they're adding the new raid dungeon from. They teamed up with Yoko Taro, who's the guy that made the Drakengard and the Nier franchises. And they're essentially just adding a new dungeon with the story for that, and a new game plus. I'm pretty excited for that, but I haven't played 14 in a while. I tried getting back on it yesterday and just felt like I don't have that same drive as I did when the game came out. So I'm trying to find that. That was just real quick, nothing too big. Let's see. Pictures of the PS5 dev kit leaked recently.
Can I comment? Hold on something you said. Just struck me because I had that feeling yesterday of like not having that same drive, but you were excited about something.
Oh yeah.
For the game. So that happened to me the other day with For
Drama?
Honor.
Oh.
If you remember that game. Really fun game at the beginning, but kind of bland.
Right.
And just hollow as a game goes. But anyway, an ad came out for it because they're having like their Halloween thing anyway.
Right.
So I started watching it on Twitch, and like the game as it is right now is what I wish it would have been when it first came out. And I re-downloaded it. I tried playing it, but I didn't have that same drive. Like it was gone, you
Right.
know? But like when I first played it, it was there. It was all there. I really wanted to play it. It was super fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like that happens a lot with games where you have that initial drive and then the game doesn't actually hit its stride until after it's 1 year of
Right.
being out on the market. Like,
Well, yeah. Well, with 14 specifically, it's been out for so long.
but they keep coming out with updates, right? Like, or new
Yeah.
games. Like,
Well, because Shadowbringers dropped earlier this year. Yeah, it dropped earlier this year, and I played through the story. It was real fun. I played it a lot afterwards, and then I took a break. And within that break time, if you're not like part of like the hardcore raiding teams or stuff like that, I mean, not exactly trying to go for world first or anything like that, but you know, keeping your gear updated and everything, you're gonna be so far behind and stuff like that. So when these new dungeons drop and new like the story stuff won't be an issue. It
Right.
never really is. But if you're trying to go into these new raid dungeons without like a proper group or something or with friends, then it's like people will sometimes get mad when you don't understand a mechanic or if you don't know your proper opener or rotation, which God knows that I have not been playing that game to the fullest of my potential because I don't pay attention to openers or I'll mess up rotations all the time and stuff like that. But it's like
the same thing to a lesser extent happens with Destiny,
yeah.
where it's like it hits its full stride a year after, and if you haven't been keeping up with the hollow game that it came out with at the beginning, you're not prepared to hit those dungeons right when they come out, or that DLC.
Right, but they do. Bungie, since getting the leech that was Activision off their ass, has recently been very good about that, because they've been able to give you things that can boost your light level right up to like the cusp.
Right, they increased the drop level for weapons that are below what the new ones are.
Right,
but it's still kind of like that catches you up to a point where you
are you playing Destiny on the regular?
No, but it catches you. I did it with Destiny 2 for the first like 6 months, and I did it with Destiny 1 after the year mark.
Okay.
But
have you played Forsaken or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, no. So
I heard it was good.
With that, they essentially give you like a level boosting thing. I think if you bought Forsaken, I don't know about Shadowkeep, but I know when you bought Forsaken, they give you an item that level boosts you, so that you can just be like right there at the start of where you would start that story.
They did that with Destiny 1 as well.
Oh yeah?
For the 1 year, yeah. And I did that. But like you don't, like you said, you're not up to date on the meta, strategy of the game.
Yeah.
Which you need to be if you want to be involved with these players who have been sticking with it all this time.
Oh my god,
like they're so hardcore about it that if you just come in with your little level boost and not knowing anything about it, about the new way of playing the game, because it's not the same as when you last played it.
No, not at all.
But that's just my thought.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
When you said that, because I really wanted to get into For Honor again because it looked cool with the Halloween stuff, but there's no way that I could jump back into it.
I think right now, because of my ability to stream, now that it's more available, I think I'll have to like not exactly force myself or break down the barriers. Because now that I have the computer that works with streaming, I'm having and not exactly an identity crisis, but of a what to play crisis. Because now I don't want to play anything if I'm not trying to like stream it or record video for it, so I can do something with it later. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at right now in terms of video games.
PS5.
Yeah, like I said, pictures of a PS5 dev kit.
Yeah, you got him completely off track.
No, it's fine.
It was his track to begin with. We just backed
dare
it
you,
up a little bit.
How dare you, Michael?
Took a different turn.
Yeah.
Took the scenic route instead of the direct.
Sometimes it is nice to take the scenic route. You get a nice view.
Sometimes.
But other times it just takes you a lot longer, and then you run out of gas in the middle of a town in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to talk about it.
What are you talking about? Okay, so
And then it's raining, and you realize you're wearing sandals.
Right, and then
Okay,
also
so
there's a killer in the town. And
Sorry, I shouldn't do that.
Anyways, what?
I'll put a picture of this in post, but leaks of the possible PlayStation 5 has been rolling around, and it's what people believe it is. Like if you've been on Facebook or whatever,
I've seen a picture of something.
Right, it kind of looks like this.
Yeah, that weird thing.
Yeah.
It looks like something that should be on a StarShat.
That's an
track
FTL
thing.
drive.
Right, but look at it. It's in a V.
Yeah.
For 5.
So clever. So clever. So clever.
Now I'm gonna get it.
But yeah, no. So that's
It looks like a wireless hub.
Right. But just looking at it is interesting. These the controller that I'm seeing and all these other like.
I get it. Maybe because
it's small.
Well, it's like
It looks
technology
small.
is going so fast and everything like that. They're just like all our systems have been these big boxy, ugly looking things.
Yeah, but it's not a car. Who cares if it's a box? It sits on a shelf.
Right, it's just.
It's not like you walk in and go, "This is my PS4," and everyone's like, "Ooh, ah!" Like,
I know, but
here's the issue.
It's
with
true.
The
It is.
design, though.
It is just a box.
Here's the issue with I mean, I can't see the full.
I'm guessing they had a bunch of extra space and they just wanted to use it to make it feel bigger.
I mean, no, not even that. But like, it looks like they're trying to get rid of like disc.
I think they said people want vents, and they were like, "Ooh, okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
We want more vents."
Do you see any like place where a disc would be put in there?
Yeah, right there.
That's not unless that's bigger. That does not look like a disc slot.
Nate, what are you watching?
Yeah, it's right there. It's underneath.
That looks weird.
Is that where they're putting discs?
But no,
nowadays?
that looks like a Blu-ray player.
Well, that's a disc slot.
And it probably
There's
most
no
likely it's a
PlayStation that
Blu-ray.
had like stop play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
There's like a button sequence for like
this can be like
rewind, stop.
Why?
I don't know.
exactly. So it's It's
This
proof of
controller's a
concept.
piece of junk. I'm gonna get up and do it myself.
No, but yeah, so that's just a rumor that's going around.
Who goes up and hits buttons nowadays?
Right? I mean, you might as well just throw out the TV if that's what you're still
Want
doing.
to do it with my mind, please? Thank you.
I miss
think
the
Elon Musk
Xbone.
is working on that.
I miss the Xbone when you had Cortana that could literally change the channel for you and like program your. It was programmed to your
that's
TV.
Wally
and-
Lazy Pinnacle.
Oh, it was so amazing. I loved walking in and being like, hey, Cortana, turn on the Xbox and turn it to NFL Network. And then I'd go change and come back and it was all ready.
Oh my god.
And like turned on the sound, the TV,
Yeah.
put the cable to the right channel.
It's very nice.
Until one person came in and said, "Hey, Cortana, Xbox off."
Yeah, and then it turned off.
Okay. So
So a couple things real
And then
quick.
there was domestic abuse, but we don't talk about that.
oh.
So this will be October.
That's when Michael
20.
got beat.
A lot.
What, when this goes out? Are you talking
No.
audio
Like
or
all the
video?
time.
What?
No, so
Did I get
Constant beating.
beat? Yeah, but now I'm kind of into it.
Yeah, I know.
Calm down, you two.
That's what
so 2 upcoming release dates. Call of Duty, Thursday night, 9 p.m. So technically the 25th.
9 p.m.
Eastern, Western.
Eastern, Western. I mean, if you're gonna go that
Central?
specific, give us the
It's
time
going to be
zone.
9 p.m. Pacific over
Pacific,
here because
over here.
it's going to be... And it goes
Midnight.
down when it hits midnight over in that general.
Are we talking midnight in Australia?
And so that's one of the big things that happened in the last like couple years is we always had to wait till midnight, like for Call of Duty release dates. People would stand in line at GameStop.
I did that
and
a couple times.
so did
Me
I.
too.
What's GameStop?
So we, exactly.
It's a brick and mortar store that's way past its prime.
Oh, that's cool.
So you would stand in line for release dates, wait until midnight, get your game.
I mean, come on, GameStop,
When-
evolve.
When people on the East Coast have been playing the game for 3 hours.
Do you think any companies like GameStop could set up an online system where they rent the games? You can rent the games from them.
That's what Google's doing.
That's what GameFly is.
Well,
Game
no, I
Boy.
know, but
Netflix has it.
That's what
Red Box.
well, no, I mean,
Red
it's
Box.
like, what if
GameShare is.
What if
Or not GameShare,
GameStop
but-
was able to? You could stream it from like their service. or
Oh, you
something
mean
like
like PlayStation Now?
that. Yeah, like that.
Or like Google.
But you can do it maybe through-
new one that's coming out. That's
maybe
gonna
you
be
can do it through-
crazy.
Cross-platform.
Fine.
Like you
Wait,
just log in with your Xbox. You say my Xbox is running this time, and then I'm playing this game.
That
and-
would make... I feel like that would have them lose money. In a way.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think where could a company like that go because
Well, think
disc-
of
They're
think
slowly
of what
being
you-
phased out.
think of
'Cause
what you
disc-
have to charge.
discs
to be
are going away.
cost-effective. It'd be way too much.
the only reason
Why
why
wouldn't you just buy the game and download it? Why would you pay to stream? Like, the cost to be effective on that would be so high
Well,
for
it's-
them.
I know, but like
'Cause you're-
Netflix works off of a $9 thing a month.
Well, $9 if you get the basic, but if you actually want to receive new movies, you're talking like $25 a month
Right.
to get movies mailed to you to get like. The
Well, no,
new ones,
I'm just talking
new
about
releases.
streaming.
Right.
So, if a company like that switched over to like a streaming platform type thing,
Right, but
It'd
look, who,
work.
like Xavier said, look who they'd have to compete with now because they didn't set it up early enough. They're behind the curtain on it. So then you're
I know,
looking
but-
at competing directly
so-
with PlayStation or directly with Xbox on that stream.
I know, but you either try to compete or you close down. So which would you
they've
rather
made
do?
their choice a long time ago. They're
Right.
closing down.
Well, it's just like Toys R Us. Toys R Us
is closed down.
is
No,
closed
they
down.
came back.
They're coming back.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
right.
They're
they
trying to actually come back on just the online community type thing.
I just
So,
can't
should
wait
I-
till Amazon takes over everything, and
It's going to be a giant civil war between them and Disney.
I think they'll just merge.
I think they will too.
That's when Skynet will really happen.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't wait until that
Well,
happens.
Even like Fred
I can't
Meyer-
wait till the giant Amazon blimps are floating over giant cities.
Stop.
With drones.
Yeah, they have the patent for it.
Exactly.
Did you know that?
So you're gonna walk into
I didn't know that till recently that they actually have a patent on it. Like they're working on it.
a public location. It's gonna scan your face and it's gonna like present an ad of
And it's gonna
something
go,
that you should buy.
"Ew." Oh. They already do that.
No, exactly.
Your phone listens to you, even when it's not on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. But
They
I'm just
know.
saying, like, we're
I don't
gonna,
need a
like,
tinfoil
walk
hat.
into
I've
some
accepted my overlords.
Let him continue. Let him
private
continue.
location, and it's gonna like scan your face and be like, "Oh hey, you should buy this,"
And I'll be like, hell yeah, I should.
and then
And it'll
you-
be there in 2
like-
days.
Well,
On
that would be
Amazon
the
Prime for
frustrating
free.
thing. It should say, you should buy this, and then you should say, why don't I already have it at the house? I
Right.
should be home, and I should have it at the house.
It should already be there.
Order
Yeah.
this in the next 20 minutes. And
Actually,
receive it
the-
tomorrow
Ordering
night.
is such a pain. Why don't you do it for me?
Actually, that is something that Amazon is scarily enough working on, is they try to predict your thing, and they want to come to a point where they send you a product, because it's cheaper for them to send it back. They basically bill you, send you a product that they think you want, and then...
Well, that's why they have those easy buttons.
Mhm.
Where you, like, they have your
So
most
they won't
bought
even
product.
cut that part out, and they just want to send you the item.
See, this is off topic.
It is.
You guys made it a topic. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. I
We're-
just zoned out.
We're talking
Well,
about Call of
anyways.
Duty.
October 25th. Call of Duty comes out.
What was the second release?
The second release is, as of right now, I haven't seen any other updated release date, but The Outer Worlds
Mm-hmm. It's the 25th.
is the 25th as
Yep.
well. Both of the, I mean, The Outer Worlds is kind of like a
A game you'll never finish.
Fallout vibe to it.
No, it's more like... I'm just kidding.
What game would you finish, Nate? If
No.
we can give you a game...
Leave him alone. We've already been past this arc.
Already discussed this multiple times.
I know, but... I'm
Madden.
Madden.
Done.
You
Okay.
can't finish Madden
You can't. It's impossible.
just because they have
The
credits.
first Madden, or what, like 95, before they came out with the franchise mode, and it was just season mode, you could finish it because you could only play one season.
Yeah.
Is that the last one you finished?
95?
Well, if you're saying that you can't finish Madden,
I meant game in general.
I love the...
I'm gonna
Nice.
stop.
1995
I finished
Madden was amazing.
Modern Warfare,
Especially if you played 2 players,
Grand Theft Auto 5
and
is the
you
newest
were,
game I think
you
that
were
I
San Francisco.
finished.
Because if
I
you're
finished that
playing
twice.
San Francisco
You guys gotta
and
stop.
2 players, there was a great play where they did what is it called?
We went over this already.
The quarterback sneak thing.
Yeah.
It's the best play in the world.
Madden,
Pitch it forward
Madden
20,
97.
30 yards.
Yeah, 30 yards.
the fullback dive. That was a play that you would get like 15 yards every play.
You did ask him what game he completed. The only game he's actually played, to the point where it says, and the game's over,
Yeah,
is
I'm-
Madden.
I'm gonna blame
No.
you on this one,
That's
Xavier.
fine.
The newest game I think that I've completed would be Grand Theft Auto 5.
What happens at the end of Grand Theft Auto 5?
You have the option to kill 2 of the characters.
My thing is
Too soon.
If you don't kill any of them, then you go kill the person that wants you to kill them, and then it's over. And then, depending on who you kill, or if you don't kill anybody, then the game continues. There's no missions. It's just
Free play. Like Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto.
Wait.
anyway.
So what you're saying is
we have
Grand Theft Auto has a
Beat 'em
story
with
mode?
You got a little bit.
not for you, David. Not for you. Yeah. Week 8.
Final
David.
boss defeated.
Oh, we got to do this, don't we?
That's a name for it.
As of right now,
So what I would like to say is Michael doesn't need to help me this time because he screwed me up.
What are you talking about? The week hasn't happened
That
yet.
sounds like a you problem for taking his
Yeah.
suggestions.
That's true.
so
The
we
week
both
hasn't
we both
happened.
had
The
abysmal
only
season-
the
or
only
week last
pick that
week.
I helped you with so far, you won. So I'm 100%. What are you talking about?
You're not 100%. I didn't win.
Yes, you did.
Did
you,
I win?
You
We
picked
haven't-
Kansas City over Denver.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
That's the only one that's happened.
All right, fine. You can help me.
I'm not helping you.
Yeah,
Screw
don't help
you.
him, Michael.
Michael, help me.
Don't help
No.
him. David,
I need
as
yes.
of right now,
What?
you're 36 and 39.
Yeah.
Actually, 37 and 39. And I'm 39 and 37. So we're 2 games apart. It's close.
It's very
we both
close.
suck at this.
No.
I'd say a 50% picking is, with not taking into account the spread, is very bad.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Washington, Minnesota.
Wait, did
Week
you say Washington?
I said Washington. Washington, Minnesota.
I don't know who's good and who's not. They all are like teams and they fight each other.
Your reputation and
fight
M&Ms are on the line, Dave. You gotta
That's
start
true.
paying attention. You see all that emotion I put into
I think the
acting?
only reason you make up your mind. The only reason that David likes this bit that you guys do is to watch the pain and extortion that is on Xavier's face.
He doesn't even have to try anymore, and he knows that.
First of all, yeah.
Washington, Minnesota.
Washington. And plus, I really want to see Nate eat some cinnamon.
I'm not gonna have Minnesota. Seattle, Atlanta.
Seattle.
Okay, Seattle.
Hear that confidence?
Denver, Indianapolis.
Well, I'd pick anyone versus
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Stop choosing the same ones as me.
Atlanta. Yeah, what are you doing?
Cincinnati.
You don't
Rams.
use my strategy against me.
Cincinnati Rams.
Rams. Ooh, what you gonna do, Nate?
I'm gonna do
I know what-
Cincinnati.
I know what you're gonna do.
You
You're
said
gonna-
Rams
you're
or
gonna-
Cincinnati, and then you just wrote your name next to the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say Cincinnati?
No,
I said
you.
Rams.
You said I'm gonna pick Cincinnati, and then you put your name next to the Rams.
No, I said
Are you cheating, Nate?
Rams.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Play it back. See, I told you. You
Oh,
didn't.
why are you creating more work for me? What's wrong with you?
Arizona, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
What's God?
Tampa Bay, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
That is gonna be such a terrible game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Joe's different for once.
Tennessee just
Philadelphia,
benched their
Buffalo.
starting quarterback. Tampa
What?
Bay is just terrible all around.
Exactly.
What did you say?
Philadelphia, Buffalo.
Which one's which? Is Philadelphia in Buffalo or Buffalo in Philadelphia or Philadelphia?
at Buffalo.
I'm gonna do Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Philadelphia too.
Wow, you both picked...
Chargers, Chicago.
Buffalo's only lost one game.
Chicago.
You both picked Philly to beat them?
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Chicago.
No
Why
wonder
aren't you
they're
listening?
50%.
Nate, I feel like you're not listening to me anymore. Especially when Michael talks over me.
What are you guys, a couple now?
Giants, Detroit.
Oh, me and him?
I
Detroit.
don't know, dude.
Or them and them?
Wait,
Sure.
Giants.
Or them and you?
No.
Me and you?
Jets,
I'm the friend
Jacksonville.
that doesn't want to come over, but they keep I'm Squidward.
This
Jets,
is your
Jacksonville.
place.
Exactly. I'm
Jets,
Squidward.
You're Squidward.
Jets,
They're
Jacksonville.
Patrick and SpongeBob running outside
Yes.
all happy.
Jets,
Yes.
Jacksonville.
Which one am I? Am I Patrick or SpongeBob?
No, you're definitely the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yes. That is amazing.
Just the
Jets,
annoying
Jacksonville.
voice.
I'm ready.
Although SpongeBob can hold a
Jets. What?
Huh?
Gotta go with the Jets. Carolina 49ers.
49ers.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
Michael,
go
that hurts.
Carolina.
Right here.
Cleveland, New England.
Oh, God.
Are you having a heart attack?
Yeah.
Your left arm hurts?
Yes.
New England.
New England.
That shade tech is so
Oakland,
strong.
Houston.
That was just like an
Houston.
undercover super move.
Green Bay, Kansas City.
KC.
No.
Nope, Green Bay.
Kansas City.
Their quarterback just got hurt.
Yep. But he
So,
did.
but
He's gonna win.
doesn't matter.
Miami,
Because
Pittsburgh.
think about it from the outside
Miami.
perspective, right? You don't have to say anything.
Pittsburgh. So, on that topic.
Hold
that-
on, hold on.
hold on.
Xavier was about to get to a point.
Think about it from an outside perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this. I don't care about the candy. 'Cause I rarely eat chocolate anyways. And I don't have to put cinnamon in my
peanut
mouth.
butter.
That's true.
Regardless. Over here getting offended.
It's peanut butter, Xavier.
um,
You don't buy no regular chocolate M&M.
but it's like that. It's like I'm not invested in what they're doing.
You can't lose.
Exactly.
Well, you do lose by having to sit through that every week.
Oh, you think I'm here when they're saying that? I'm in my own head thinking about what I'm gonna do after this.
I'm in a Corona commercial.
Exactly. So it's like because when one of them loses, I just get a good chuckle,
Yeah.
and I already know how the end of this is gonna go, anyways.
Who loses?
Well,
Huh? Who
It
loses?
doesn't matter.
Oh.
Because regardless, I get what I want, but they're gonna end up most likely sharing the M&Ms anyway. on the off chance that Nate becomes a greedy, gluttonous person and just does not want to be a good person about it.
Yeah, it's just usually the case.
Yeah. Just
So what
look
does
at
that
him.
what does that say about Nate's character?
Scene?
Hold on. What does that say about Nate's character in that Dave, of all people, is willing to share the candy, but we know that he's like evil incarnate.
Yeah, but
Stop
you
clicking
got to
the
take
pen.
into account that Dave does it because then he gets to go, I won these. You can have some, I guess.
It's a
He like
different
holds
style.
it over
That's
him.
a different style of
It's like his
chaos.
way of showing off. Yeah.
Right. So which one's the best of two evils?
I'd rather take it for myself and not share because I feel like it's more evil to be like, here you go, buddy.
It's
I
like,
know
it's
you
like
lost.
it's like a charity case.
It's like handing out a participation trophy.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right.
No, speaking of this,
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Second
I
to
should
last
get a
name.
participation trophy and then fill it up in him and then give it to him.
Michael, who just got injured?
Huh?
Who just got injured
You did when you
David?
lost this bet.
What are you talking about? Who?
for Kansas City?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. You know
Yeah.
that.
No, no. But who's
Then
on
why
the
wouldn't you
who's the
say
cover of Madden?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, the Madden curse is real.
Yeah, the
Unless you're
Madden
Tom
curse is real.
Brady. He survives.
Well,
Well,
there's
that's
a couple
because-
that survived, but
No, just Tom Brady. Because he can't
well, I
hurt
feel
the
like
goat.
I feel like after that, I feel like after he was on the cover
I hate Tom Brady, by the
When
way.
everybody hates Tom Brady.
is when he was out for the season.
Who?
Tom Brady, or did that happen before?
That was before. That was way before.
Was it?
Yeah, the year that he was on the cover, they lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So in that way, the Madden curse got him. But he
Okay.
still made it to the Super Bowl.
Still managed to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because that was he got it on the cover the year after he beat Atlanta.
You're a jerk.
What?
I know.
I see what you're doing.
Wait, what?
Did you really?
What?
Why are you just zooming in on me?
Nate, do you want to close it out?
No, I don't.
I mean, all the focus is just on you.
This is stupid. You're a jerk.
I didn't do it that time. Are we? What are we on time?
We're at 59.
Ooh,
59.
Nate,
We're 59
end it.
there, 50.
Thank you
here.
look right into the camera. It's looking
For
right at you.
tuning in to this episode of Nailed It Podcast.
Why are you pointing your hands like that?
I'm talking to the audience.
Oh,
You.
Yeah,
And the whole 0 viewers that watched our video last week.
that's true.
Well, didn't it just get posted like Friday? So
Yeah,
yesterday?
but you
Yesterday.
gotta promote it hard. Right?
Yeah, promote it harder than that. Really hard, Nate.
Stop.
Promote
Wow.
that thing
Okay,
so
I'm ending
hard.
this. I gotta stop.
that-
It's going
Bye.
too far.